Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Heart of the Swarm on StarCraft 2 campaign. And in this episode, going into part 6, we start Shoot the Messenger. Start, because, yeah, we don't actually finish it this time. Sorry.
Mines on the other side. Shakuras. If a single shuttle passes through, they can alert Shakuras to our presence.
Which is a bad thing, because Shakuras is where a majority of the Protoss fleet is right now.
No, they would detect that. Our only choice is to stop their shuttles from reaching the conduit. Nefash's Hydralisks. Abathur, assimilate their essence into the swarm.
Kerrigan, your positioning for your Hydras is terrible.
I need more Hydralisks to destroy these shuttles.
Yes, more
yes,
like
she
that.
does, and we get the best unit for the entire Zerg campaign is back. Yes, Hydralisks. Let me make this very clear. I do this mission absolutely shittily. Like this is arguably either the worst or second worst mission for me to do in the entirety of Heart of the Swarm. However, I still kind of like this mission because we get access to the Hydralisk, the best Zerg unit ever. And yes, as past Gerdat mentions, the Hydralisk is the best source of grounded DPS that the Zerg get. Mostly because they can attack both ground and air. They have a relatively high attack speed and damage output. And if they are on creep, oh man, if they are on creep,
they are good.
Now, I mentioned in an earlier part that the Hydralisks have been nerfed. This is the big nerf. They moved them from a tier 1 unit to a tier 2 tech unit. Not only do you have to build a Hydralisk lair, which used to be a tier 1 building, but now you have to actually upgrade at least a hatchery up to lair in order to be able to build a Hydralisk den. Which I'm of two minds about it. And in one part, Hydralisks were just factually the best Zerg unit in the original StarCraft 1. So it makes sense to actually push them to a higher tier. However, in another sense, their replacement for anti-air is the Queen. And the Queen is okay. It's not really good as an early game unit. It's much more of a support unit than it is anything else. And as such, Zerg in general got pretty heavily nerfed going into StarCraft 2. Which was a good thing, except pretty much all the factions got nerfed going into StarCraft 2. And
Out with it.
It's not a thing that we really discussed all that much while we were doing Wings of Liberty, but Terran's big nerf for StarCraft 2 is that it takes them even longer to get into their primary strategy, although their primary strategy is now Marine Tank as opposed to Marine Medic. And Protoss got nerfed in that that Stalkers specifically don't do as much damage as Dragoons, but are much better units overall, regardless. So, yeah. Also,
well,
Stalkers I think are slightly more expensive than Dragoons, right? Because Dragoons originally were 100 Vespane and 50 gas, I think. I'd have to go check again. So, one of the big things that you need to do for this mission is spread creep as far as you fucking can from your primary base, because there are the thing that this mission doesn't really prepare you for is that eventually there are going to be additional warp conduits that go online, and those additional warp conduits need to have creep by them so that your Hydralisks and other units can deal with the approaching shuttles significantly better.
Push ahead.
Shakuras.
Get going.
That Hydralisk is almost deaded, and now that Hydralisk is deaded.
Nothing stands in my way.
We need more.
There are also these three. There are also three of these biomass research nodes that are strewn across the map, and I will be getting all three of them. Although attempting to get them super early is a bit dangerous, especially without Queen support, because again, Queens are the dedicated the dedicated support unit for the Zerg forces now.
What is it now?
I mean, they were in the first game too, but they were aerial units there, and they were scouts. Whereas now that they are just, instead of being aerial scouts, they are, the healing units.
Speak quickly.
Oh, here comes the reinforcements.
Good to have. Can use to improve swarm.
We got missile attack 1 done. Haha.
Get this over with.
Let's get this over with.
No, well, that's what Kerrigan wants us to do, but she's gonna have to deal with us not being able to do that right now. Get armor.
Because, you know, you might still be going through the motions, but you're definitely making a Zerg army.
Well,
That
we're
is going to
making a specific
consume
kind of
you.
Zerg army. I like how what they did to Zerg for StarCraft 2, to be perfectly honest. The transition from Hydras to Roaches is honestly really nice because Roaches are not as oppressive as Hydralisks were, specifically because although they are much tankier, they are also much easier to deal with. They are very well, they can't shoot up, so it makes it so that they are, you know, they have a dedicated counter to them. Whereas Hydralisks just honestly did not have a dedicated counter in StarCraft 1.
Your extractors require
Yes. The next part, because we do not finish Shoot the Messenger in this episode, again, I apologize. Isha is going to fail to notify me about a shuttle that almost gets the fuck out. And that happened to me at least twice. It was very fucking annoying.
So,
thankfully,
if
the
any
second
of them
time, which
get
is this recording
no
session,
shuttle's gonna escape.
we did actually manage to correct it. So,
Oh, thank God.
I'm
Alright,
not
and
gonna
here comes the
keep it a
shuttle.
failed take of a mission. What? You think I'm brain scratch or something?
What? I left that in?
Out with it.
Come on, Queen. Although, yes, you need to put down a creep tumor over here as well. So.
Your face could use a new blister.
Nothing stands in
The big reason why this mission is usually super simple is because Kerrigan's kinetic blast will one-shot a majority of the enemy flyers that you have to deal with. Specifically, the scouts and carriers, and I think the void rays that eventually show up are very easy for Kerrigan to take down. Just because that is how amazing kinetic blast actually is. But yeah, Hydras now cost 100 minerals and 50 Vespane, as opposed to their original cost, which was 75 minerals and 25 Vespane. It means that it's much more difficult for me to actually turbo out a bunch of Hydralisks really quickly because they cost slightly more.
Oh, that Vespane requirement is just a bitch to get over.
Yeah. You wouldn't think an additional 25 Vespane would be all that much, and then you realize that, wait, that's 7 deliveries of Vespane.
Yep.
The fuck? And Burrow.
You should have been working on your Vespane production there, Sonny.
Yeah,
are
all
we
the
regenerating the
tech
fallen
units
unit?
need Vespane, which I'm actually okay with. It's just that, you know, they tend to require more Vespane than I'm comfortable with providing. Alright, now we should have enough Vespane. No, we only have enough for 7. A steroid that we actually get access to right from the start, because we're playing on normal mode, is that all of our hives have the ability to have 9 larvae at once. This is not a thing that you get in multiplayer without a significant amount of micromanaging. And yeah.
Oh,
If you are micromanaging your larva production really efficiently in multiplayer, you can get upwards to 6 to 9 larvae on each of your hatcheries. But you have to use queens in order to do it. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at anything with Zerg, so I choose not to do it. I just build additional hatcheries so that I can, you know, have larva generation that way.
You have my attention.
Alright, here comes the death shuttle.
This is not the death shuttle, although it will be on that fucking gate when the death shuttle arrives. Bastages. Also,
Farewell.
fuck pathing.
Yep, pathing's falling apart.
Pathing isn't totally falling apart, but it did kill that one Hydralisk because, you know, that Hydralisk decided that no, everyone's already going over that way, which is the correct way to go, so I'm gonna have to go over this way instead, bastard.
Out with it.
Also, there's another reason why we need to be over here, aside from both the conduit and the additional biomass container. There is a second hatchery that you can get for literally free if you manage to clear the ice from it directly south of where our current position is.
Spit, everyone. Really work up that loogie and spit.
No, they're not spitting. They're launching. They're spines that they naturally regenerate. It's not an oral thing either.
Huh.
There's not much time.
Yay!
Pincer attack!
Tumor. It takes queens forever to kill anything.
Sure. Even with high ground, they're still shooting low.
What were the Protoss doing with all this biomass?
Nah, they were studying it as we could have learned if we bothered to talk to the Protoss the Protoss scholar that we kidnapped.
Plot reasons. Everybody knows that you don't really get plot until after the mission.
Nothing stands in my way.
Yes, and in the next part we will be continuing on, but past Gerdat's a tad early here. The editing for this was really wonky for me.
The swarm never rests.
There we go, another hatchery.
Now belongs to the swarm.
Yes. The swarm.
Some more overlords.
The swarm. The capital S. Swarm.
No, the creep tumor down.
There's not much time.
There's plenty of time,
Oh,
Miss Kerrigan.
nonsense.
Oh, look, more
Get
Hydralisks.
going.
We got all the time in the world, just not in this video.
You have my attention.
Yeah.
Heh.
Let's get this over with.
Now,
Some minerals
Kerrigan.
invest
Sometimes,
Spain.
sometimes you gotta fake it before you make it.
Only rarely.
We're gonna
though.
make.
Get going.
We're gonna make an evil bitch queen out of you yet.
Yes, we will.
Let's get this over with.
Also, I think that's a roach that's frozen up there, right? Yeah, those are frozen roaches.
Push ahead.
All right,
Yeah.
and in the next episode, we will finish Shoot the Messenger, and I think we actually start up on my the fan favorite mission as well. Be safe, everybody.
Improve swarm.